strange. Every time people saw this tall, black teenager, he was picking up scraps of popcorn left behind by others. At first glance, many thought he was rummaging through rubbish. But in truth, that was his dinner. He wore nothing more than a thin t-shirt, shivering in the cold rain at night. His name was Michael, but everyone called him Big Mike. He was only 16 years old, yet already over 6'5" and weighed more than 20 stone. His feet were bigger than a girl's head, and his hands broader than a child's shoulders. But although his body was enormous, his mind was no more developed than that of a 6-year-old. After his father died, his mother was unable to raise him. He was passed from one foster home to another, more than a dozen in just a few years. One evening he overheard his foster parents arguing because of him. Sensitive to their words, Mike realized he should leave. From that day, he began living on the streets. He ate whatever he could find in bins and slept on the floor of the school gym. Then he met a family who would change his life forever. "Hey, Big Mike, where are you heading?" they asked, catching sight of him walking down the road. A woman in the car couldn't bear the sight of his lonely figure. "Turn around," she said to her husband. They pulled over. She got out, firm but caring. "Big Mike, why were you going to the gym?" "Because it's warm. Do you have anywhere to stay tonight? Don't lie to me. Come on, get in." Mike climbed into the car, bewildered. He had never seen such a beautiful house. Just looking at it made him feel safe. The woman showed him to the sofa. Yet when she went upstairs, doubts crept into her mind. He was from the streets, after all. Would he steal something? But the next morning, she came downstairs and froze. The sofa was neatly made. Mike had already gone. Guilt pricked her heart. She rushed outside and called after him. "Today's Thanksgiving. Stay for one more day." Mike accepted. Dinner faced with a huge table of food. He only took some vegetables and a slice of bread, sitting quietly in the corner, almost afraid to move. The woman's heart ached. She turned off the television, gathered everyone at the table, and led them in prayer. To Mike's surprise, their daughter reached out and held his hand. For the first time in his life, he felt the warmth of a family. Later, the woman offered to buy him clothes. Mike shyly said he already had some. She didn't believe him and insisted he show her. So he led her to the run-down estate where he had lived. When she tried to get out of the car, Mike held the door shut. "Don't get out." This was a dangerous neighborhood. A group of young men eyed her maliciously and shouted insults at Mike. He ignored them and went to his mother's house, only to find it had been repossessed, his mother long gone. Realizing once again how abandoned he was, Mike sat in a corner and cried. On the way back, the woman decided to buy him proper clothes. That night she asked, "Do you want to stay here, Michael?" "I don't want to go anywhere else," he replied. The next morning she gave him his own room. "Is this for me?" he asked, hardly daring to believe it. "Yes," she said. Tears welled in his eyes. "I've never had one before. Never had a bed." On Christmas Day, she made sure Mike was included in the family portrait, even printing the picture on Christmas cards. Soon, word spread that a white family had taken in a large black teenager. The gossip was vicious. Neighbors whispered behind their teacups. "Your daughter is so pretty. Aren't you worried, bringing a big black lad into the house?" The woman was furious. "Shame on you," she snapped. She cared only about her children's feelings. To her relief, her daughter was unfazed. She had seen Mike's childlike kindness from the start, and often stood up for him at school, even when others mocked. "Quit staring at us," she'd tell them. "We study together." The younger son adored Mike too. They became inseparable. One day, Mike asked the woman for something for the first time, a driving license. She was puzzled. "But you don't have a car." After pressing him, she realized he just wanted an ID, something that proved he belonged somewhere. Moved, she began the paperwork to adopt him. Finally, the family asked him, "Mike, Would you like to become part of this family?" He signed, and from that moment, he was truly theirs. They gave him a pickup truck, his dream car. Not long after, Mike was in a minor crash with the young boy. Amazingly, the child escaped almost unharmed. The police were baffled. The airbags should have injured him badly. Later, the woman discovered the truth. Mike had shielded the boy with his own arm, taking the full force of the impact. His skin was torn, but he simply said, "I stopped it." That fierce instinct to protect soon shone in another arena: American football. At school, a coach spotted his size and strength. Mike could move like no one else, but he didn't understand the rules. Sometimes he carried opponents instead of tackling them. The coach grew frustrated, but the woman refused to give up. With the younger brother's help, Mike trained hard, learning the plays. Still, he struggled, until the woman gave him the key. "This team is your family. Protect them as you protect us." Suddenly, everything clicked. The whistle blew, and Mike dominated the pitch, blocking, tackling, defending his teammates like his own kin. From then on, he was unstoppable. His matches were filmed and sent to universities. Coaches across the country were desperate to recruit him. Soon, scholarships poured in. The family encouraged him to choose Mississippi, their alma mater. But then the Sports Association investigated. They accused the family of adopting Mike, only to push him into their old university. Feeling betrayed, Mike ran back to the streets. In a bar, gang members insulted his new family. For once, he lost control and fought back. The woman eventually found him and reassured him. "It's your life, Michael. Whatever you decide, we'll always support you." With new confidence, Mike returned to the investigator. "I want to go to Mississippi," he said firmly, "because it's where my family goes." He was accepted, graduated, and went on to become one of the NFL's most promising talents. In 2014, Michael Oher signed a 4-year, $20 million contract with the Tennessee Titans. The following year, he signed with the Carolina Panthers for $7 million over 2 years. It may sound like a film, but this is a true story. The journey of Michael Oher, the boy who once scavenged food from the streets and became an American football star. To this day, he remains close to the Tuohy family, who gave him the one thing he had never known: a home.